YouTube, what's up, man? It's your boy Richardson from Minimum Wage to Millionaire. If you're new here, welcome. But if you've been here, welcome back. Changing scenery. I finally got a tripod for my phone. That's why I'm able to record the videos not in my car, but this way. Plus, we got the natural lighting over here. So everything's looking good. Let me know how the backdrop and everything looks. But that's why I've been a bit off from my uploading schedule. I usually do 2 videos a week, but I was waiting for my tripod to come in, so it kind of pushed it out. Now I didn't make a video in almost 8 days, which I'm a bit disappointed because I wanted to make 2 videos a week for you guys, but you guys can see the tripods here. So now when I go places, I could, upload it, and it doesn't necessarily have to be my car. I'm still going to do car videos from time to time, but I want to kind of just change things around. So hopefully you guys can forgive me on that. But not to get too sidetracked and to kind of make this video short and sweet, I want to expand upon what I made in my last video, which is about investing and stocks and what are index funds and all that stuff. I mentioned at the tail end of that video that I'm going to explain to you guys the one investment that I invest in. Kind of spoiler alert, it's an index fund, but an ETF to be specific, which is just an index fund that trades on the exchanges. Like, you could buy and sell it as a stock versus like other index funds or mutual funds where you buy it through your brokerage and it only changes the prices once a day at the end of the business day. In ETF, you could trade it open on the market. That's really the main difference. But the one ETF that I invest in, that kind of encapsulates my whole investing idea, at least at this time, because again, I'm 28 years old. My birthday was a few days ago, well, last week actually. So what I'm doing in investing, which I want to just put this disclaimer out of the way, I'm not an investment advisor. I'm not here to tell you what to invest in. I'm just here to show you what I invest in. I'm a 28-year-old single man, so what I invest in might be different from you, who is somewhere in their 40s and 50s, and you're about to pass down your wealth in a few years. So we're going to have different investing philosophies. But just to kind of give you a little recap, my investment philosophy is essentially just buying diversification through a well-diversified index fund and just kind of sit and let the market handle itself out. The benefits that I see in this is that, for one, I don't have to take as much time reading quarterly reports and earnings calls and trying to figure out, what's the best price to buy in, what's the best price to sell out. With buying an index fund, and the one that I bought, is that it takes the guesswork out of all of it. I just sit back, I let the smarter people and the people that got more time to give to market research, I let them handle it, and I just take around and buy the total returns. And that ETF and index fund is the Vanguard Total World Stock ETF. The ticker symbol, which is essentially like a short nickname or a short search word that you could find to find that stock or index fund, it's ticker symbol VT. So one of the most important, popular index funds that you may have heard of is VOO, which is Vanguard S&P 500 fund. So think about it like that. When you search VT, you'll get this fund. The reason why I like about this fund is this fund has shy under 10,000 stocks, and unlike the S&P 500, it invests beyond the 500 largest American companies. It invests in the total U.S., and then it even goes a step further and invests in essentially international companies as well. So you're getting significantly more diversification across the board investing in this fund versus if you were to invest only in the S&P 500, which is the fund that typically most people, when they get into index fund investing, they typically hear of. Now, like I said, there's no right or wrong way to invest. I'm not here to tell you what to invest in. For a lot of people, the S&P 500 does wonders. I think with the Warren Buffett that just recently retired from Berkshire Hathaway at like 90-something, shout out to him. God bless his life. He lived a long life, and he's been working most of that life. But one of his advice that he recommends the S&P 500, because kind of the thought process is, hey, you're getting 500 best American companies. What more diversification you need? My thought process is, even though I'm an American citizen and I love this country and I love the people living in this country of all different races and ethnics and different walks of life, I also understand that America is just one country. It's exceptional in a lot of ways, but it does fall short in a lot of ways as well. So I don't have this, and I know some people might get feel some type of way, but it's also the truth. I don't have this blind patriotism when it comes to the United States and its reign in the economy and the finances, because how I look at it is America is just the modern day Rome, for better or for worse. And some people may get offended by me saying that, but it's the truth. And what happened with Rome? Eventually, the empire fell. Who's to say America can't, right? And secondly, is even if America continues to strive centuries upon centuries, well, who's to say that America will be the only nation that strives centuries after centuries? Again, I'm not a prophet. I'm assuming you're not either. We don't know the future. We don't know what the future holds. So my investment philosophy and thought process is, okay, well, if I don't know for sure, why don't I just buy it? And again, let the market sort itself out, and just kind of bank on that returns. Now, there's pros and cons with this, of course. Let's just compare it to like the S&P 500, because that seems to be the gold standard in index fund investing. So the primary benefit, as I mentioned earlier, is diversification versus the S&P 500. The second thing is that, excuse me. The second thing is that you don't have to tinker with your portfolio as much when international starts to outperform U.S. or whenever international starts to outperform the U.S. Right? So unlike the S&P 500, where you're only getting the top 500 companies in America, if international starts to outperform, well, you need to start readjusting your whole investment strategy. You're gonna have to buy international funds or something to that sort to be able to capitalize. When you own VT, if international does well, it just kind of shorts itself out. And the way the index fund works, in case I didn't explain it in the last video thoroughly, is that as the winners grow stronger and become more profitable and become bigger companies, they take up more of the fund. And then the companies that are unprofitable or the companies that go bankrupt, they, of course, get rid of the fund. And that's beautiful, and that applies with VT across the world. So international companies does good, it starts to take up more and more of the fund. The companies that are starting to lag, let's say the U.S. companies, they start to lag. Well, again, you don't have to tinker with your fund. It adjusts in itself, which is very, very great and beneficial for that. Now, the cons of VT, like anything, well, first thing, just want to say, investing is always a risk. Even index funds, don't ever believe anyone that tells you this is a risk-free investment. In regards to investing, nothing is risk-free in regards to investing. Even saving your money under the mattress, although may provide some benefit and some safety, that also comes with risk, and that risk is that you're losing your money to inflation. So everything comes with risk. Don't ever tell anyone that says, hey, you could get 100% of the benefits and you don't have to play any of the risk. Run away. They are a grifter. They are a conny salesperson. And I always say, and because I'm Christian and, I look at things spiritually from a biblical standpoint, I think they are working with the Prince of Darkness if anyone tells you that. Don't ever believe that. The thing you should worry about is, okay, is the potential reward worth the risk I'm taking, and am I comfortable with that amount of risk? If the answer to those questions, both those questions are yes, then proceed, of course, with caution. So the second, I guess con with VT is that in the case that United States continues to be exceptional and it remains, top creme of the creme of the world, economics and stock market gains, then yes, the S&P 500 and other index funds and stuff like that primarily focus on America will do better. And one thing I like about with VT, which may come as a con, but one thing I like about VT is that VT, it's essentially like, think about a horse race, right? Let's say there's 10 horses in a race. VT is equivalent to buying all the horses in the race. So when you buy all the horses in the race, yes, if you're bound to win, but you're not going to win as much as someone who concentrates. That's what it calls. There's diversification, which is you're spreading out your risk. Concentration is you're bringing that risk to a single point. When it's concentrated, like let's say you bet all your money, your life savings on the winner, and that winner wins, well, you're going to make more rewards and more benefits from that. So that's one thing. And a lot of people will look at recent charts like the last 5, 10, 15 years. They'll say, well, the S&P 500 outperformed VT and all the other internationals. But you have to take into consideration that past performance is not future performance, right? It may have outperformed international in the last 15, I think closer to 20 years now. But who's to say the next 20 years that's going to happen? Again, it all comes down to we're not prophets. I'm not a prophet. For sure, I know that. I don't even know what food I'm going to eat tomorrow in the morning, so much less bet on what's going to happen as intricate as the market. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I invest in. I only invest in VT at the moment, at least in terms of financial investment. I will make a video in the future talking about alternative forms of investing. I touched upon it in my investing video. I made a whole playlist. You guys can check it out, which talks everything on my channel in regards to investing. But just to summarize, I invest in the Vanguard Total World Stock Index Fund, ticker symbol VT. I do it because it's a low-cost way to broadly diversify my investments across the world. I think it invests in a little bit less than 10,000 stocks. The expense ratio, which is the cost of you buying into the stock, is 0.06. Think about it like this: every $1,000 you are investing in, every $1,000 that you're investing in the fund, you're paying what, 6 cents in fees? Very, very, very cost-effective way to invest, and that's one thing I just like about index funds and raw. And again, I have to admit that I'm not the smartest guy when it comes to investing. I don't have as much time to look into those things, so that's what that fund will provide for me. But again, this is not to tell you to invest in it, nor is it to tell you that if you are investing in S&P 500 that you should disregard it. You just have to, again, do your own risk analysis. What are you comfortable with? As a 28-year-old man, I'm pretty comfortable with a lot, but I'm not comfortable enough where I'm gonna put all my life savings in Bitcoin. I don't even understand Bitcoin. I watch so many videos on Bitcoin, and one group of people will tell me it's an asset, another one will tell me it's currency, another person will tell me it's like digital gold. I don't know. I'm lost. And for me, my philosophy also with investing is if I can't fully understand it and put it, explain it in video format, I'm not going to invest in it. I know stocks. I understand stocks. It makes sense for the most part. I understand index funds and ETFs. That's how I explain to you guys what it is. But Bitcoin, that's a whole nother beast. But I'll just end the video here. Thank you guys for watching, tuning in to my channel. I do have some couple videos planned out that I will put out over the next couple of days. But thank you for bearing with me for so long. It's Richardson from Minimum Wage to Millionaire signing out. May the Lord be with you all. Have a nice day.